editing Tina here. I just want to say a couple of things before we get into the video. There's so many apartments that I toured this day, so I want you guys to understand that I'm gonna try my best to put all the information in this video, but there's only so much that I remember. Also, I toured mostly just one bedroom, so if you're not looking at one bedroom, this video is not for you. We might have toured like a couple of studios, but they were mostly all one bedroom. So if you're looking for a 2 bedroom, a studio, or like a 3 bedroom, this video might not be for you because all we toured was a 1 bedroom. And with that being said, like I said, I'm going to try to include all the information, the name, the price. But like I said, I want you guys to understand that I toured so many that day that I just don't remember everything. And I also do want to say that some of them might have give me like, what type of floor plan it was, or some of them gave me like apartment number. So like they might give me, oh, this is apartment 512. And if you go try to find that, they might not have it because somebody might have leased it. Apartments fill up quickly, so I'm gonna try my best to give you the floor plan and everything. Just know like it's most likely a 1 bedroom, but I don't know which specific type of floor plan it is. But I'm gonna try my best to include maybe like the apartment name, so that way you can like maybe look it up in the website and you can see different floor plans that you might be interested in, and the amenities, all of that. So I'm gonna try my best to include all the information, but I want you guys to understand as well that there's only so much I remember, and there's only so much they gave me as well. Another thing I want to say also is that the price they gave me is like when I tour it and like when the specials they had going on at that time. So if you go tour it, whenever you see the video, they might not have the same specials going on, so the price might be different because the market is always changing. So I also want you guys to understand that. Don't try to come for me if the price is not the same, because technically it's not my fault. The market always changes. So I want you guys to understand that before we get into the video. But I'm going to try my best to include everything, because I know that if you click this video, you're most likely looking for a 1 bedroom, you're looking for an apartment, and you want to know all the information. Right. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tina J. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today we are apartment hunting at Houston, Texas. The first apartment we're looking at is called the West Roof. They're located in the Heights. This apartment is pretty brand new. They told me they're not at full capacity yet. We first walked in the leasing office, and I can say that it was very well decorated. The lighting, everything, it looks very pretty, very modern. One thing I want you guys to know is that this apartment was in the middle of nowhere and there wasn't much around it. So if this is something that you are considering, then this is something to keep in mind. And of course, like, since it's not at full capacity, you're not gonna have like a lot of neighbors. So that means it's gonna be quiet. Some people might like it, some people might not. Some people want more community, more people. But this is not full capacity. It's pretty brand new. The good thing about this community being brand new, it means that nobody has lived in the unit before. The first unit that I'm showing you guys is the A2, which is 646 square feet. This unit was a 1 bedroom, but I do say I feel like it was really small, and the bedroom didn't really have any windows, which is something that is really important to me. The layout for this unit was very unique. I feel like it looked more like a studio, and their window in the bedroom, it was more like a sliding door. I think this is my first time seeing that in an apartment. I've never seen that before. The closet was in between the bathroom, and I'd say it was pretty small. I really like the light colors in the cabinets in the kitchen though, and the black matte handles and faucet sink. But as you can see, the living room was pretty small. I feel like you couldn't really fit much in there. I'm not sure if it wasn't really sunny outside, but I feel like the apartment really looked dark, and I feel like that's something that's really important to me. I need a lot of sunlight. The bathroom to me was really small. I feel like there could have been more cabinets, it could have been bigger. Overall, I feel like just the unit itself was just so small. Now we're gonna look at the amenities that the community offers. They had a very spacious smell room, and the ceiling was kind of like open, so like the sunlight entered, and I thought that was kind of unique. I don't think any mail room have looked like that before. They had a pet washing station, which I thought was pretty unique. I feel like a lot of apartments don't offer that. So if you have a pet that you're bringing to this community, this could be something that is very useful for you. Both the clubhouse and the gym were a 2-story. The clubhouse had a lot of seating area, which is pretty good if you work from home. And the gym had a lot of up-to-date equipment, which I think is pretty good, and it was very spacious. This was their pool. I believe they were working on it. I'm not sure if they were doing maintenance or anything, but I think it's not completely done yet. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember entirely. Look what the hot body can do. This was part of the first floor of the clubhouse. Like I said, everything was pretty decorated. There was a lot of seating. They also had private rooms which you can use at any time. They're perfect if you work from home, like I said, or if you want to edit content, or if you want just a little space for yourself. Their clubhouse was amazingly decorated. It was so beautiful. I love the decor that they used here. They also had a couple of other rooms which you can lounge. I love the seating they had. Everything was just so beautiful, honestly. Next, we looked at the Sky Lounge, and as you can see, like, they're not done with it. Like I said, this apartment is pretty brand new, so they're still working on it. They had a lot of construction going on around the building, so this is kind of a layout how it's going to be. By the time you finish this video, I believe the Sky Lounge should be done. This is going to be the view from the Sky Lounge, and there's some seating outside in case you want to stay outside, catch some fresh air. Put it down, make I take away your peace of mind. For flow like water, we get it, please oblige. Open your eyes and look what the hot body can do. Next unit that we looked at was the A3, and it was a corner unit. I believe this unit was in the 600 square feet. The layout was definitely very more open compared to the studio one bedroom, and their closet was huge. I feel like this is the biggest closet I've seen in a one bedroom. The washer and dryer in this unit was inside the closet. I know some people like that, some people don't. The bathroom in this unit was definitely a lot bigger compared to the first unit, and they had a double sink. The first one had only one sink. This unit had an island, which is pretty good. I personally like islands, but I think some people might not like it. I just think they give a little touch. A couple of things that I didn't like about this apartment was the fact that the balcony was really right next to the neighbors, and it's just like no privacy for neither of us. And since this was a corner unit, the bedroom layout was really weird. Like, it was a corner bedroom layout, and I just didn't really like that. And I felt like the window was so small, like there was no light coming into the bedroom. It was just not it for me. Next, we're gonna take a look at an amenity, which is basically a cafe that is only open for residents at this apartment. And on the first floor, there's going to be open a Slowpokes, which is going to be open for residents and the public. Next apartment we looked at was called the Lennox at Timber Grove. It was right next to the West Grove. Again, with the location, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. We first looked at the leasing office, and as you can see, it's beautifully decorated. Everything looks so modern, and everything looks like very intentional. They have a coffee machine in the leasing office, which is something that you can use as a resident. Next, we took a look at the clubhouse, which was connected to the leasing office. They had a bar in the clubhouse, which is open to residents, and I think they have certain hours, and they host events every week. And this apartment offer concierge services. I believe their pool was okay. I think it was a little small. Next, we took a look at the gym, and it was a spacious gym. They had a lot of equipment, a lot of up-to-date machines. I think it was an actually good gym. This was the residence lounge area, and they had a lot of seating space. It was well decorated. They also had like private rooms, that way if you want to like have a little privacy, work from home, have a meeting or something, I think that's something that is good, you know. I forgot what type of floor plan this was, but of course it was a one bedroom. We're gonna start with the bathroom. I think she's really nice. I like the whole like black and white accent. The bathroom can be entered from the kitchen or the bedroom, which I think is something nice because if you have guests and you don't want them to go to your bedroom, you can just have them like come in from like the kitchen. The closet for this unit was in between the bedroom and the bathroom, which I don't know how I feel about it. Personally, I think the closet was a little small, but the washer and dryer were inside the bathroom and closet. The bedroom was a decent size, and I like that the windows were ceiling to floor windows. This was their living room and kitchen. I think it was pretty spacious and very open. I really liked this apartment. The only thing that I really didn't like was the fact that the closet was kind of small for us. As far as for the mailroom, they had a regular mailroom and they also have a package room. For the package room, they basically use Luxury One. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but basically they put your package in a locker, and once it's ready, they send you a notification with your code, so that way you can open your locker and that way you can get your package. For the elevator, you need a key fob that you need to scan in order for you to get to your floor. Next, we're looking at this unit. I forgot which floor plan this was, but we basically were looking at these units because we were asking for a bigger closet. This did not have a bigger closet, but as you can see, this layout is a little bit different. I think it's a little bit bigger, and they have a balcony, and as far as for the cabinets, it's a light brown compared to a black and white accent. As far as for some features in the bathroom, they have like a marble floor tile and they have a standing up shower. As you can see, I feel like there wasn't really much different in the closets compared to the first one that we looked at. Next, we took a look at this unit. I think it was pretty much the same. We kept asking him for a bigger closet, and it was slightly bigger, but not really, like there wasn't really much change to it, honestly. They do have like the newest versions of like the washer and dryer, and I believe he told me that they're Bluetooth connected, so like you can schedule like your wash whenever you wanted to. The kitchen and the bedroom layout was pretty much the same as the last one. This just could be me, but I just don't like the fact that there's 3 windows in the bedroom. I feel like just a big one window could have been fine. As far as for the cabinet colors, I believe the even floors had the whites and then the odds had the light brown, but it could be the opposite. I don't remember. Next unit was a little different. Instead of having a standing up shower, this one had a bathtub. Again, we had asking for a bigger closet because we believe the one he has shown us were just not big enough. This one seemed to be a little bit bigger, but I think the difference between this one and the last one's like the other ones were wider, this one was like longer. Apart from the bathtub being different, they also had like more cabinet space, and as you can see, they had double sink compared to the other ones. They only had one sink. The bedroom is pretty much the same layout, and it has like those windows that I don't really prefer, but it's wood floor throughout. This layout was definitely bigger. Each room was bigger. As you can see, also the kitchen was a different layout. They had a lot more space, more cabinets, and it had like this layout of like a bookshelf and a desk built in, which I thought is pretty nice. The island though, I feel like, me personally, I don't like the islands that have kind of like just the tubes and then it has like space in the middle, but I don't know, that's just me. Another thing to consider if you design this unit, there's something outside, I don't know exactly what it is, I forgot, but basically it's kind of like a construction site almost, and they make noise, so that's something to consider as well if you decide to pick that unit. Next unit that we looked at had this like really big balcony. It was like super long. I think it's one of the biggest balcony I've seen. As far as for the layout, this one was a little bit different because this one had the L-shaped kitchen instead of like having an island. This one did have a built desk in the apartment, as you can see, but this one was also like the white cabinets and the black accents. This unit also had a little pantry, so that way you can put your snacks or anything that you want in there, and then it also had a laundry room, and it had a little bit of space in the built-in shelf, so that way you can put anything that you want in there as well. As far as for the entrance, they had also like a built-in shelf coat rack kind of thing, so that way you can put your belongings as soon as you come home. This unit though had a kind of like a half bedroom, I'll say, or more like an office, so that's something that you can use maybe if you work from home, or if you're like us, like that we make content, maybe there could be a content room. The bedroom was a decent size, and it was wood floor throughout, again with the windows, not something that I preferably like, but the bathroom was beautiful. As you can see, the bathroom had double sink and a standing up shower, and they had 2 big mirrors. Personally, I like when it had just one big mirror, because why they have too big mirror. But this bathroom had a lot of cabinets and they had built-in shelves, and this had also a standing up shower. I think the closet was a decent size, but I feel like it would be better for one person. I don't think it would be enough for a two-person. And it had a lot of built-in shelves, which is good. The next place that we looked at was called Domain in the Heights. We looked at the A1 floor plan, which I believe it was 684 square feet. The first thing that I noticed about this building, that it was not in like an outside open cement floor. It was kind of like inside, you know, AC, carpet, and tile floor. I didn't really take a good video about this balcony, but the unit had a balcony and a storage room, which could be helpful. As far as for the kitchen, it had a very big deep sink, and then it also had gas stove. This is something to keep in mind because this means that you have to get electricity and gas. One thing about this apartment was that they had a movable kitchen island, which is good. That means like if you have people over and you needed more space, you can move it to be out of the way. The living room was a decent size, and it had like slide doors, floor to floor windows, and as you can see, like that's the little size of the balcony. As you can see, the bedroom can fit a king size bed, which means it's pretty spacious, but this bedroom had a carpet floor in the bedroom. As far as for storage in this bathroom, there was a couple of cabinets under the sink and a little closet right next to the standing up shower. One thing that I noticed about this shower is that it had a double head stream. Is that what it's called? I'm not sure, but I thought that was pretty unique. I don't think I've ever seen an apartment have a double head shower. As far as for the closet, I think honestly it was a decent size. It had a couple of built-in shelves, and I think we can make it work for two people.
Get the fuck up out my face with what you talking about. I got too much on my plate, and I know you can't relate. It's your love, it be fake. Fuck you talking about. Shit be covering up that hate. I know how to spot a snake. Niggas talk that drum and bass. Fuck you talking about. So you better know your place. Stay inside cause it ain't safe.
Their amenities were beautiful. We're gonna start first off with the gym. This was their little cycling studio, which you're more than welcome to use. I think it was open 24/7, I believe. They even had a small rock climbing wall. They had kind of like this dancing room, which it had like mirrors all throughout, and I think it was super beautiful. I love that it had the all mirrors all around it. I think you can use it also for like stretching or yoga or anything that you want to do. Their gym was huge, and it had a lot of like modern equipment, which I think is pretty good. And then I think it also had like multiple equipment, so that way you don't have to like wait on anybody. But honestly, I think this is like the biggest gym I've seen in an apartment. It was beautiful. Another unique amenity that this apartment offers is that they have a sauna, and it's open for everybody that lives in this community, and I think it's open 24/7. I forgot the hours. Next, we took a look at this like little working lounge that they had. They had a little coffee machine and even a printer. You can come down here if you want to work from home. They had a little like cubicles and stuff like that, so that way you can have your own privacy. Another amenity that this apartment offers is this virtual golf game, which you can, you know, if you have guests over, maybe that could be something to entertain them. But the only thing is like they don't provide the like actual equipment to play with, you know. This was a little clubhouse, this place you can rent it. And this was their pool. This is one of the biggest pool in, actually I think this is the biggest pool in any apartment in Texas, so they get their number one on that spot. This was their other side of the clubhouse, and they had a little bar which is open for happy hour. I believe we were quoted in the 1700s for this apartment. I do want to say one thing though, that this apartment included the internet, so you don't have to look for it in a third party. This other apartment that we tried to look at was called the Broadstone at Memorial Park. We didn't get to look at it because we didn't have an appointment, so if you want to tour this apartment, you have to make an appointment. I only got to see the leasing office and the pool, which I'm showing you guys. Another apartment that we looked at was the Viridian in the Design District. This was also another apartment that you had to make an appointment. We didn't get to fully see it, but we did a little walk around in the leasing office and in the gym.
You hear my words but got no clue about who I really am. From shark infested waters, phrases like that make me sound harder and more ruthless, but the truth is that I merely swam out the stolo semis bland, willy-nilly over kilograms. Niggas selling rock like Stilly Dan. While the world spins like whirlwinds, out of control. How does the soul find a thorough cleanse when all of this cold water that flows has for sure been contaminated with sin? Planted in the latest of trends, stranded in this land of the antiquated ways that I'm in. Standing in a state of revenge, seeking a way to defend reputations because the names are actually greater than them. Life is a trip you can't predict the random way that it ends. Bullets travel straight through the skin like gamma rays in the wind. My greatest of wins came when I annotated my gems. The shit I write so far, I got my hand afraid of my pen. Get the fuck up out my face with what you talking about. I got too much on my plate, and I know you can't relate. They show love, but it be fake. Fuck you talking about.
This was another apartment that we looked at. I forgot the name, but it was in the Galleria area right next to the Hyatt Hotel. Personally, I really didn't like this apartment just because I felt like it was too dark. There wasn't any light coming in, and then also like the very like dark cabinets and the dark floors and then the dark counters. Like it made everything so much darker. I just didn't really like the lighting of the place just because, you know, we film a lot of content, so just something that would not be good for our content. Another reason as to why we didn't really pick this apartment was because everything was under remodeling. The leasing office, the clubhouse, the gym, everything was under remodeling, and I think also like the elevators didn't work, and that's something that we were experiencing in the apartment that we were currently at, so just something that we didn't want to deal with again. Next apartment that we looked at was called the Broadstone at Post Oak. This was also an apartment that we kind of didn't like just because everything was really dark, again with like the dark brown, and we didn't like that the bedroom had carpet floor. This apartment was also going through a lot of remodeling. The only thing they kind of had done was the gym, but I think they said they were going to remodel it too, so
I know how to spot a snake. Niggas talk that drum and bass. What you talking about? So you better know your place. Stay inside cause it ain't safe. Bitch, I'm outside with the aches. Fuck you talking about? Tell me what sense do it make? Coming back when you escape. Quiet as kept. I feel the vibe of the whole city.
Next apartment that we looked at was called Alexian 5151, and I believe they were in the River Oaks area. We first looked at their clubhouse. I feel like it looked very cozy. They had a lot of sitting areas, and they even had little rooms so you can like do like conference or meetings. They also had a kitchen which you're more than welcome to use. Another amenity that this apartment offers is a movie theater, and they even play like recent movies. This is also an amenity that can be rented out in case you're having friends or family over. This was their gym. I think it was a pretty decent sized gym. It had a lot of equipment, a lot of weight. They also had a little like cycling / yoga studio.
Steady diet of death, mothers crying on steps while porch lights shine down in a giant puddle that now forms on the ground as she wept. Family surrounding her, providing their best attempt at consoling her. Prayers and words of faith coming out of the breath. Turning to the Lord's ironic at a time with these young niggas so violent they're let off at God in the flesh. My mind is a mess, conflicted, cause the energy's wicked. They need to impress to the high while their guidance is less. And while I feel powerless to change up how it is, a part of me is yelling loud as shit, you ain't trying your best. Too busy selling out arenas.
All the apartments that I'm going to show you right now, they were by the apartment number, so I'm not entirely sure which floor plan this is. But for the first apartment, this is their closet, pretty decent size, and they had a bathtub compared to a standing up shower. As far as for storage in the bathroom, they had a couple of cabinets under the sink, and they had 2 closets. And as you can see, this bathroom had double sink, and it had 1 big mirror. One thing about this unit is that you can go to the bathroom through the bedroom and the living room. This is something that I preferably like just because I don't want my guests to like go through my bedroom in order for them to go to the bathroom. The bedroom was a pretty decent sized bedroom. You know, it can fit a bed, 2 nightstands, a dresser, and a chair. And the only thing was that it was a carpet floor. As far as for the wood floor, personally, I prefer the lighter shade. But the living room and the kitchen area were a pretty decent size. And this unit even had a little balcony. The only thing that we kind of didn't like was the cabinet color. I think it was just too dark. It kind of makes like the whole place look darker. And again, with the island, personally, I don't like the islands that have like the little open, which for this one kind of made sense because I saw like they put the stools in so that way like the stools are not out, and I guess like they give more space. But I just personally like don't like that design.
Life on cloud 9 and I can't deny it, I guess. I'm living my dream, my life is my childhood wish. The guilt that comes along with that is the size of the rest of the planet. I pray you get to see it.
This is the next unit, and I think the closet was slightly bigger. This bathroom was pretty much the same. It had a bathtub, 2 closets, and a couple of cabinets under the sink. The only difference was that the cabinet color was a brown. The other one had more like a gray. The bedroom was also pretty much the same. It had a carpet floor. The only difference about the bedroom was that this one had doors for the balcony, which the other one had the windows. As far as for the kitchen and the living room, they were pretty much the same. The only thing that was different was that the kitchen had an L-shaped island, and the windows in the living room were bigger.
Tonight I stepped out with my niggas and felt the organic nostalgia that arouses when I'm with the rest of the bandits. Obsessed with talking about the bitches we sexed till we landed in the spot that always used to pop when we was younger. Shook hands with niggas I hadn't seen for several Septembers. Gave hugs to women I only vaguely remember. The way their fingers caressing my back was giving me signals like you may enter. Liquor informing my agenda, straight and narrow for a while, but tonight I'm on a bender and my retina antennas are scanning the club intently for the girl I wanted bad and almost had before the Bentley.
The next one that we looked at was kind of like a loft, and we really loved those windows. The only thing that we didn't really like about this apartment was the fact that it didn't have much light, especially upstairs. As you can see, all the lights were on and that's all the light that there was. But I think space-wise, the apartment was really big. Also, upstairs was all carpet floor all throughout. They had a bathroom upstairs and downstairs. And the layout for the bathroom and bedroom downstairs, it was pretty much the same as the last unit. The bedroom was all carpet all throughout and it had the doors for the balcony. The only difference about the bathroom was that it didn't have those two closets. It only had the cabinets under the sink for space.
Evidently, when you're the greatest rapper of the century, you'll get another shot. The club was starting to get too hot, so I stepped outside for a breather. That very moment I seen her, she had the glow of a Leah while I control my demeanor and said, damn, what's good? How you been? Yeah, that's crazy. Yo, 1 second, bro. 1 second, I got you. Nah, that's crazy. It's crazy. I was wondering too, like, I didn't know if I was gonna see you or what. I was, yo, 1 second, bro. I got you. I'm just talking to him. You be here for a minute? Alright. Get the fuck up out my face with what you talking about. I got too much on my plate, and I know you can't relate. They show love, but it be fake. Fuck you talking about. Should be covering up the hate. I know how to spot a snake. Niggas tote that drum and bass. Fuck you talking about. So you better know your place. Stay inside, cause it ain't safe. Bitch, I'm outside with the eggs. Fuck you talking about. Tell me what sense do it make?
The next unit that we looked at was the same thing, kind of like a loft, but it was like loft/studio. This one seemed to have a little bit more light, but I feel like it wasn't enough light still. As you can see, the kitchen was kind of like a studio. It was like combined with the living room. The bathroom was pretty much the same as every other unit. The only thing is that the bedroom was by the entrance and there was no window, so I feel like it was extremely dark in the bedroom.
So you better know your place. Stay inside, cause it ain't safe. Bitch, I'm outside with the eggs. Fuck you talking about. Tell me what sense do it make? Coming back when you was.
These are all the apartments that we toured this day. Let me know if you have any questions. For the last ones, I didn't really give you a quote because I don't remember which one we selected for them to give us a quote. So I'm not entirely sure which one it was, but everything was between the 15 to 1700s, maybe 1900s. But I thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you guys in the next one.